There comes a moment when you stop waiting for permission, stop listening to doubt, and stop measuring your future by your past. A moment when you look at your circumstances, no matter how difficult, unfair, or painful, and you make a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, a decision. And that decision is simple but powerful. I am going to win. Winning doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. It means you refuse to quit when it gets hard. It means you keep moving forward when fear tells you to stop. I've learned that winning begins long before the victory shows up. It begins in the mind, in the heart, in the quiet moments when no one is watching and you still choose to believe. There were times when everything around me suggested defeat. Times when logic said, give up. Times when the world expected less from me. But winning was never about what I had or didn't have, it was about what I chose to believe. I chose to believe that my life had value, that my effort mattered, and that my story was not finished. Declaring belief before results appear is where every true victory begins. Most people wait for proof before they believe, waiting for success, validation, or perfect conditions. But winners understand something different. Belief comes first, and results follow. When you say, I am going to win before you see evidence, you are not lying to yourself, you are choosing faith over fear. Belief is a decision, not a feeling. Feelings change with circumstances, but belief stays steady when things are uncertain. When you declare belief early, you give your mind direction. You stop reacting to obstacles and start moving with intention. Even when progress feels slow or invisible, belief keeps you consistent. Declaring belief does not mean denying reality. It means refusing to let reality limit your vision. You acknowledge the struggle, the pain, the odds, but you don't let them define your future. You choose to see beyond today's difficulty and commit to tomorrow's victory. Every breakthrough in life begins with someone believing before the world agrees. That belief fuels persistence, courage, and discipline. And the more you declare it, the more your actions begin to align with it. Winning starts the moment you believe long before the results arrive. Rising after failure with unshakable determination is what separates those who win from those who quit. Failure has a way of shaking your confidence, questioning your worth, and convincing you that trying again isn't worth the pain. But failure is not averted tits feedback. It shows you what didn't work, not what you are capable of. When you fall, determination is the voice that says, get up again. Not because it's easy, but because staying down costs more. Every failure carries disappointment, but it also carries strength if you choose to rise. Determination doesn't erase the memory of loss, it transforms it into fuel. Unshakable determination is built when you stop taking failure personally. You learn to separate who you are from what happened. You are not your mistakes. You are not your setbacks. You are the one who keeps going despite them. Each time you rise after failure, your confidence grows deeper and stronger. Not the loud kind of confidence, but the quiet kind that knows it can endure. Winning is not about never falling, it's about refusing to stay down. And every time you stand back up, you move one step closer to victory. Taking responsibility and refusing to quit is the turning point where intention becomes action. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or past experiences for where you are. But the moment you say, this is my life, and I choose my next step, you reclaim your power. Responsibility is not about guilt, it's about ownership. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting to be rescued. You stop hoping for motivation to magically appear. Instead, you move forward even when you don't feel ready. Quitting is often disguised as comfort, but responsibility demands courage. It asks you to show up on hard days, not just good ones. Refusing to quit doesn't mean you never feel tired or discouraged. It means you decide that giving up is not an option. You may slow down, you may change direction, but you don't stop. Every small effort, repeated daily, compounds into something powerful. Winners are not those with perfect lives. They are those who stay committed when life is heavy. Responsibility anchors you. Persistence carries you. And when you refuse to quit, even on the days you feel weak, you quietly prove to yourself that winning is inevitable. Training the mind to see victory before it arrives is a powerful discipline. Your mind believes what you repeatedly show it, and if you constantly picture defeat, fear will guide your actions. But when you choose to visualize victory even when circumstances are difficult, you prepare your mind to move toward success instead of away from it. Seeing victory does not mean fantasizing without effort. It means mentally rehearsing strength, courage, and perseverance. When challenges appear, your mind recognizes them as part of the journey, not the end of it. You begin to respond with calm instead of panic, purpose instead of doubt. Your thoughts shape your habits, and your habits shape your future. When you repeatedly tell yourself, I am going to win, your decisions start aligning with that belief. You make better choices, take healthier risks, and stay focused longer. The mind is either your greatest weapon or your strongest enemy. When you train it to expect victory, setbacks lose their power to stop you. You don't deny hardship, you dominate it with vision. And eventually, what you saw in your mind becomes what you hold in your hands. Using pain as fuel instead of an excuse is one of the strongest signs of a winning spirit. Pain is unavoidable in life. Disappointment, loss, rejection, and struggle visit everyone. But what separates winners is how they respond to that pain. Some allow it to weaken them. Others allow it to sharpen them. Pain has a voice. It can tell you to stop, to hide, to quit, or it can remind you why you started and how far you've already come. When you choose to use pain as fuel, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? Pain builds depth. It strengthens empathy, resilience, and inner fire. When you rise through pain, your victory carries meaning, not just success, but purpose. You become proof that circumstances don't define destiny. Winning doesn't come from a painless journey. It comes from refusing to let pain have the final word. When you stand up with scars and still declare, I am going to win, you transform pain into power, and that power carries you forward. You may not see the finish line yet, but every step you take in faith is moving you closer. Winning is not about perfection, it's about persistence when the road is hard. Your belief, your resilience, and your courage are already shaping your future. No matter how many times you fall, you are still in the fight. Keep standing, keep moving, and keep believing. Your victory is not a question of if, but when. Thank you for listening with your heart. Thank you for choosing courage over comfort. Thank you, and never stop believing in what you can become.